Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Reilly. Today we're going to be looking at the Model Y and asking the question, should you buy it? So we're going to look at a couple of different areas. We're going to look at the looks outside and inside, the tech, which is a big factor when you're looking at a Tesla, the space, which includes the loading capacity, driving, what's it like to drive, charging, range, and then competitors. So in the comments below, you're going to get a number of different chapters, which if you're interested in a specific one. Also, if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, just to show me that you're interested in this kind of videos. Secondly, if you've already subscribed, make sure you leave a comment, and we're going to get a couple of different comments here. The question is, should you buy a Tesla Model Y? You're going to have the Tesla fans that are going to say yes straight away. So if you're a Tesla fan, stick it down and say yes, you should buy the Tesla Model Y. If you're anti-Tesla and you want somebody to buy something other than a Tesla, stick that in the comment as well. And if you're actually interested in considering buying the Tesla Model Y, let me know, of all of the things I've talked about, which ones are the factors that are most interesting to you. So what we're going to do is have a look at the interior first, and then we'll have a look on the outside. So interior wise, it is very minimalist. It is very futuristic, some would say. Some would say it's very plain and they'd like a bit more functionality. I'll change that word. It's not functionality. They'd like a bit more interactivity with regards to buttons, knobs and dials. With the Tesla, everything is pretty much ran through the central screen and some stalks on the right and left of the steering wheel and some knurled thumb wheels on the steering wheel. Everything else is pretty much all through the driving seat. But looks wise, we're not going to talk about technology to start off with, we're going to talk about looks. There are a couple of different colored trims. You can get the light or the dark. You can get different color trims with regards to the actual dash, and the newer version has the stripes coming onto the door as well. So the Tesla Model Y has been out in the United States since March 2012. It's just come to the UK and Ireland in the last couple of months. Europe, end of 2021. And so the newer versions, and it's not really a refresh, it's just they're constantly evolving. And so what they've done is, instead of having a panel of color down here, they've put that stripe continued over from the dash. This one is white with the white interior. You can get a grey one, you can get a wooden one as well. So looks wise, internally, you've nothing in front of the steering wheel. It's all over here on the driver and the infotainment system, the main touch screen. And I have a neighbour, Matt, who's super tall, 6'5" or 6'7". No doubt he'll leave a comment below and let me know. And Matt was saying that he really likes the Tesla Model Y because he can adjust the steering wheel up super high and it's not encroaching on the screen that would normally happen. Some people prefer to have something behind the driver's wheel so that they can see the speed, so they're not looking over to the left or the right, depending on the side of the market. So looks wise, internally, it's very minimalist. Just that screen. Let me know in the comments whether you like it or you'd loathe it. Tech is a huge part of owning, or potentially the buying consideration when looking at a Tesla, and everything, as I said, is through that central screen. So on that screen you have everything involved with regards to the car. So you've got your pedals and steering, how you want those to feel. You've got your autopilot. Now this has auto steer, the beta. It has navigate and autopilot, which I used on the way up to the Supercharger. Full self-driving, visualization, preview. It also has summon beta. You can set your speed limit, you can do speed limit warnings, etc. You have your locks, and the technology means that you can use the key card that comes with it. So it is literally like a credit card, and that's used to open it by the P-pillar if you don't have it on your phone. And you can use the phone app as a key as well. And then you just pop it down here in behind the cup holders, and that's the key, or it can be your phone. There's lights, the display itself, your trips, your navigation, your safety, your service, and then your software update. So with the Tesla, a lot of it is you don't really have to go back to the garage for anything software because it's over-the-air update, and this will let you know when it needs to be updated, and it will also preferably be on Wi-Fi when you're doing it. So technology-wise, there isn't the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay integration, but the satellite navigation is excellent. Another big factor within the Tesla is the fact that it has built-in security cameras, or Sentry mode as it's called, front, side and rear, and when you have a when somebody comes close to the car, be it parked or if it's involved, when you press the horn, will record what happened previously, a couple of seconds beforehand and then afterwards. And so you can see Sentry mode as to when people got near my car when it was parked downstairs. But this doesn't have to be on all the time. If it's in a secure location and you don't think anybody is ever going to be near it, you don't have to turn Sentry mode on, because it will take up some of the battery when it's sitting there being triggered on a regular basis. So it's great having those dash cams built in all the way around 360 in the car. The app is also really good functionality, and with the app you have the ability to precondition it, cool it down, heat it up. You have the ability to lock and unlock, open the frunk, etc. And one of the really nice updates with the app recently was the ability to be able to live view the cameras when your car is parked up. So your phone will be able to see what's happening down. Now, what it doesn't have, which I think would be a great feature, is if there's a Sentry mode alert, that it would notify you on the phone and you'd be able to live view it through, because with that live view on the cameras, and to my knowledge that's the case, when I live view on the app, it allows me to turn on the lights, to honk the horn, and also to speak via the speakers on the car. So lots of tech that's really cool on the Tesla Model Y, and is that a factor that's going to make you consider buying the Tesla Model Y? I'm just going to show you the space in the rear behind my seats. I'm 6'2", 187 centimeters. I suppose more tech as well is the fact that you can charge. It has dual charging pads, lots of space in underneath here as well, So the utilization of space on the Tesla Model Y between frunk, cabin, and the actual rear is really, really well done. Again, because it's a ground-up EV. But I've set the seat for me. I've set the steering wheel for me. Let's sit in the back and show you the kind of space. Because of the Model Y's wider, longer and taller setup, for somebody tall and for somebody that needs that space, I think it's excellent. So here we are in the rear bench. Seats wise, about a centimetre between my seat and the feet and my knees, and lots of space in underneath as well, and the ability to push back the seat if I wanted to. You can have it upright or then back. There are 3 headrests if you want that central headrest, 2 Isofix in the rear, and you also have that armrest if you've only got 2 passengers in the rear as well. These are the white seats, and somebody from Tesla told me that the white seats are set up slightly different with regards to the foam that's inside them. So that's an interesting, I asked him what's the difference between the white and the dark, and he goes, no, the white ones are supposed to be more comfortable. It's a different foam setup. Not sure how. I'm sure Tesla owners will let me know in the comments. 2 USB Type-Cs in the back as well, and also some rear mounted holders. You have the full glass sunroof as well, so it's gorgeous. And in the US, not here yet, in the UK and Ireland market or European market, you have that 3rd row of seats, but not currently here yet. Only available in all-wheel drive, long range and performance. That shorter standard range, single motor, 2-wheel drive isn't available either yet, but it will be. It is available in some markets, like China, for example, and the US off books. Now that we've done the looks on the inside, let's have a scooter on the outside to see what it's like to look at. You might not, when you're driving it doesn't really matter, or does it? This is the Tesla Model Y, so it's obviously a bit wider, a bit taller and a bit longer than the Tesla Model 3, and very similar to the Tesla Model X, which has the gull-wing doors. Very aero at the front, no grille, and never had a grille because it is a fully electric vehicle. Small bit of cooling coming in here. Again, some people really like it, some people don't like it. It has that frunk, so the space is very good. It has these very unique headlights. They're not LED matrix. They have the capability, but it's not for driving. Looks on the outside, moving down along the side, you have your indicators and your fog lights. You have, depending on the range, this is the long range version, so that will dictate what wheels are on it, but you can spec high, wider, bigger or smaller. You've got your cameras, indicators, flush door panels. This has a full panoramic sunroof as well. Let's spin it around so you can see what the rear of it looks like. But Is the look something that you like or don't like? Again, let me know in the comments. Down along the rear, and you don't get the model variation anymore where there used to be, it used to tell you what it is, but it just tells you whether it's a dual motor, and that Model Y will only come in dual motor. Hatchback, powered, tall, massive. Space in the trunk is 854 litres, space in the frunk is 117 litres, and then overall it's 2,158 litres. Very distinctive on the road, and obviously you've got your chromed out Tesla badge there on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's the looks outside and the looks inside. We've talked about the space in the boot. Let's have a look at the space in the front. In the Tesla, you have a Frunk, or front trunk, or Froot, and you've got a lot of space within here. You also have a button if something or somebody gets trapped in there. But again, utilising the fact that it's a full electric platform, and a lot of people will compare this to another EV that doesn't have a Frunk and say, well, why doesn't it have it in it? So very useful. What's it like driving the Tesla Model Y? And coming up to a speed bump here, we're probably going to show exactly, it is a bit firm, and some people like it, some people don't like it. Some people would like if this came with an option of maybe air suspension. Firm at a slow speed, when you hit a speed bump or a pothole, it can seem severe, but that firmness then is a positive at higher speeds because it's much more of a sportier drive. So it's interesting to see what people are interested in, what people like, what people are willing to put up with. Some people take it for a test drive and they just cannot handle the fact that it is so firm. And when I first reviewed it, it was up in the Dublin Mountains. And when I was coming out of the car park, you could see me being jostled around the place. So it is a firm suspension, and that's okay too. So 0 to 100, you're going to get it in 5 seconds with the performance, and that drops down to just over 4 with the long range, and just over 4 with the performance version. Super quiet, double glaze in front and rear. It's only in the front on the Model 3, but it's up front and rear with the Model Y. You very quickly get used to the fact that your speed is up here and it's not directly in front of the steering wheel. And you know what? I'd have the suspension the way it is for the benefits of the sportier feel and at that motorway speeds. You can see that they've also included, when you indicate now, that blind spot, which it didn't have in the Model 3, it brings up that side camera so that you can see. Now, if you're on the phone and that you indicate you don't have phone control, so hopefully that's an update that they'll allow come through. Again, that's the beauty of that software update. With the dual motor, it's 324 kilowatts between the two motors, and that gives you 435 brake horsepower with a 493 Newton meters of torque. So plenty of there. Load wise and what it can pull or tow or carry. So on the roof, if you want to do it now with that full glass sunroof, I've talked to a couple of taxi drivers and they said that they won't go for the Y because of that fully glass sunroof, and there's no cross beam in it. I'm sure there's Tesla Model Ys with taxi light bars out there, so I'm sure there's a solution for it. But on the roof, it can take 75 kgs. It can take 73 kgs. Braked, then it will take 750 kgs of a trailer, and unbraked and then braked at 1600 kgs. You can see the so we're going to take it to the motorway so I can show you Autopilot, but also navigating Autopilot so you can see how it operates. So here we are coming on to the N11, and I've got my destination put in. So if it is navigating an Autopilot, you have to have somewhere to navigate to. And we are merging with traffic. I press this button on the screen that has a little navigate. So double tap, and it knows that I'm in this lane, and it has the blue line on the middle. It knows that I have to go into the next lane, and it's going to do that now in a second, and it did that for me. It indicated, it took the turn. It's asking me now to make sure that I'm on the steering wheel. Upcoming lane change, tap to cancel, it's asking me to. It knows that I'm hitting the roundabout in 1 kilometer. So it's asking me to change lane, so I indicate, I turn slightly, and the steering wheel then does the rest. It takes that turn for me. And you can tell it's navigating autopilot, the fact that it has the blue line in the center of the screen. It's slowing down because it knows that the speed is 80 kilometers. Coming up to a roundabout. Navigating autopilot is going to end because we're going from a motorway onto a national primary road. Now we're back to regular autopilot. Slowing down. Roundabout. So tech-wise, it's very, very well done. Charging your Tesla Model Y on a regular home charger, it's going to take about 12 hours, and then it can go up to 11 kilowatt on AC. On DC, it can go up to 210, and then you can go from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes. So you're interested in a Model Y, what's it going to cost you? In Ireland at the end of March 2022, currently the Model Y long range is 75,499 euros. That will fluctuate depending on supply, demand, so when you're going to purchase, keep an eye on the price. Another thing I want to talk about is the Supercharger network. It's a huge factor when people are thinking about purchasing a Tesla. So that is a network that is predominantly just for Tesla usage, but they are trialing it with others. This is a site on the M1 northbound, and you can see multiple Tesla stalls and only one ESB site there. So it's another definite factor for consideration. Lastly, who are you up against? Because this is an all-wheel drive, you have to remember that that's who you really should be putting it up against head-to-head. Now, I may or may not have done a video against Skoda Enyaq. It was actually a sport line, but we'll talk about the fact that it was the 80X. But really, you're up against the Mustang Mach-E, the Volvo XC40, your ID4 GTX Max, and then your all-wheel drive Ioniq 5s and your Kia EV6s. So there's a few that you're up against, and that's really the title of the video. Should you buy this over them? Some people don't like the minimalist interior. Some people don't like the firmer ride. Some people are having issues with when you're driving at lower speeds, that there's a kind of a percussion sound, a constant hum. And maybe that's the glass roof. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not without its faults. But with the Tesla Model Y, they're already selling more of these than the Model 3s in the US. It's going to be the same here in the European region, especially when Giga Berlin comes online. I can't give you an answer whether you should or shouldn't. It's going to be down to yourself. But hopefully you've enjoyed today's review. You've hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, that you've liked it, and you've left a comment and let me know what you think. Remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.